Today, we said goodbye to WHIO's Northern Bureau Chief Steve Baker. Steve died New Year's Eve. He spent almost 40 years covering news here at Channel 7. Hundreds of people gathered in Troy for his viewing last night, and hundreds more showed up for his funeral today. Inside St. Patrick Catholic Church in Troy, people sang, prayed,
for he is the salvation of the world,
and told stories about Steve Baker. Everyone knew him as a serious journalist, but some of those stories brought laughter.
One of the reporters says 2/3 of the earth is covered by water, and Steve covers everything.
It was true. Steve made his mark on the Miami Valley covering news, mostly as WHIO's Northern Bureau Chief.
How long did you work with Steve?
Well, my entire career.
Before we started talking with retired WHIO videographer Dee Mormon, she made sure the camera was just right.
Thank you.
Steve would be so proud. To him, accuracy was everything.
We always called everything north of 70 Baker country. You know, he delivered the northern counties.
We also called Steve King of Miami County. And when I had to cover a story up north, I always called Steve to ask for permission before I crossed the county line. That didn't happen often. That's because if there was news, Steve was there.
He got up in the middle of the night because he heard something on the scanner, and he'd pop up and run out into the snow and go take care of business.
For Steve, business was also pleasure.
Did he like his job of reporting, or did he love it?
Oh, I think he loved it. That was apparent. Yeah, very much so.
But he also loved his family and friends.
Accurate, on time, detailed.
Retired orthopedic surgeon Robert Malarkey knew Steve for decades.
He's always someone you could trust, someone that when you see him, you know something good is going on, or he's producing something that we all need.
Steve did his best to balance family life with work life. Often, they intertwined. Here at News Center 7, we all know Steve's wife, Marty, and many of us have met his kids, Mark and Stephanie, and some of his grandkids. For Steve, news wasn't just a job. It was a lifestyle.
What should he be remembered for?
Strawberry Festival.
A very important gentleman, Steve Baker, is standing by live. Steve.
Well, Jim, one of the neatest things about the Troy Strawberry Parade
Man, he made that a big deal. He made that a very big deal.
Steve was a big deal, a great man and a great journalist. He loved his family, his job, and this community.
Steve Baker, News Center 7.
And folks, keep in mind, Steve would put about 35,000 miles on a year on a news vehicle because he was here, there, and everywhere. I remember in 2002, my wife and I had been here a couple months. It was the night before the Strawberry Festival. We went up and had dinner with Steve and Marty, his wife. And he told me the story of this. He said, I took my family to Disney World. He said I was there less than 12 hours, had to get back on a plane, come back home, left his family there because he was afraid he was going to miss something.
Well, he almost missed the birth of his son. So he told me that he was at a police investigation. He went there and then he went back to the investigation. So, I mean, he was just like that. And the one thing that Steve would be so excited to know the impact that he made on people.
Sure.
Because, this business, a lot of times it takes you away from your family. And I think even his family was happy to see the impact that he made.
And his son and daughter and Marty, his wife, I remember him telling us the story that night at dinner, and she just kind of smiled and shook her head. I mean, she was married to a newsman, and she couldn't have been more proud, as was his son and his daughter.
Well, and I can tell you, he told me when I was a new reporter, he said, Gabby, any reporter can get a story once, but it takes the good ones to get the same information and the same stories from the people over and over again. That is called trust, and that's what he was all about.
He was a great man. We'll be right back.